mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Hey,
Why do you panic?
The way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it pretty
Watch Johnny's bite.
Bismillahir Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Tuesday, the 24th of June. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. This morning, I'll say thank you to Sonar Fashions in Tamale for my outfit. You can always get them on 0246 590 162, and they ship across the world. So you can prefix that with plus 233 246 590 162. Plus 233 246 590 162, and they can get you something special for you and yours for that special occasion. Today is the birthday of Mr. Isaac Tetekwe, a trusted acolyte and a very, very instrumental gentleman. I see Joseph the Work Anglican Tetekwe. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you if it's your birthday as well, and you're an added viewer of 3FM, Johnny's Bite, and all the segments that we put up here. Happy birthday to you. Now, I will continue to insist that as young people, let nobody mount pressure on you. Somebody met me on Sunday and asked me whether or not I was on LinkedIn. And I mentioned to the person that there are too many fakes on social media. You would see somebody's profile that says that the person is a CEO of that works at the World Bank, then the next moment they are in your DM asking you for 50 Ghana cedis and 30 Ghana cedis to survive. Who are you deceiving? We must build a society on honesty, on integrity, on discipline, and on forthrightness. So don't let, as a young person, don't let anybody mount unnecessary pressure on you. If you have contemporaries who have had their parents leave wealth for them, and for which reason they are enjoying, it is their destiny. Let them enjoy. If you are working hard as a young man or a young woman to make ends meet, go ahead and do diligent work. In the final analysis, you will smile. Hard work doesn't kill anybody. It never broke anybody's bone. Hard work. Honest work never broke anybody's bone. I remember that many years ago, there was a funeral at, was it Teshi? Yes, Teshi. I went to Teshi. Then I saw something written. You know, they have these inscriptions that they write on their houses on the way to the cemetery. The inscription was in Ga, and I try and hazard an explanation for you. The inscription says, Min she shito enfimlin futo ni agbi. Min she shito enfimlin futo ni agbi. To with the very hot pepper that you can own and grind and say, this is mine, is better than the very fat goat or sheep that has been slaughtered, which is not yours, which source you don't know, which will bring you problems later. Min she shito enfimlin futo ni agbi. As long as you live, try and brighten the corner where you are. Do your best, do diligent work. It will pay off. It will pay. I'm not the first that it has worked, that principle has worked for. There are many, many people greater and bigger and better than me who that principle have worked for. There are no shortcuts anywhere in this life. So if anybody wants to tell you that there are shortcuts, and for you as a young person, I'm talking to you as a young person because they say the future belongs to the young people. So I'm talking to you as a young person. Do not let anybody despise your youth. Those who are spiritus is in the Bible. Work hard, play hard. Don't cut corners. It will get you into trouble. And the day you get into that trouble, you'll be shocked how you got into that trouble, because you may be getting away with it every now and then. An African proverb says, the day the monkey is destined to fall, all the trees become slippery. Because the monkey swings from one tree to the other, one tree to the other, one tree to the other. But the day the monkey is destined to fall, all the trees suddenly become slippery. He jumps from this tree to that tree, swings here, and then he slips down. The day you're destined to fall, for the authorities to grab you, you will not know. So do not let anybody despise your youth. If I'm running a business and I'm making so much noise about the business, and in a whole year, I have had only 60 clients and I can vote so much funds in public, you should ask me questions. If you don't ask questions like Prophet Kofi Oduro says, then you yourself, you are corrupt too. You are corrupt too. As young people, let nobody despise your youth. I'm telling you. When we were growing up, we had people of our age after secondary school, or sometimes first, second year in uni, they'll bring cars to school and they'll have cars in the... Eventually, most of them got picked up. Eventually, we got to know that it was not even there. Sometimes people actually even borrow to put pressure on you. They do what they call laboro. They borrow stuff to put pressure on you. They may have lived in the same area with you, for a long time. They may have moved away for about 2-3 years. Then they suddenly come back into the area with borrowed stuff, and then you are wild. You want to follow them, and you want to clean their shoes. You want to bow to them. No. Me, if you insult me because I'm opening these keys for the young people, I don't care. What works is what we will tell them. Hard work never broke anybody's bone. Be diligent, have integrity, be confident in what believe in your hustle, as they say on the streets. Believe in your hustle. It will work one day. Believe in it. So that when you look back, you don't come and tell people that you started your restaurant with a cup of rice and a half bottle of oil. Because that will be cock and bull story. Cock and bull story. Those who have engineered their companies and their industry right from beginning, right from the grassroots, when they're speaking, you see the difference, because they have worked their way all the way to the top. Those who cut corners to get in there, when you start talking on an intellectual level with them, then they get lost. Then they get angry. Max Ehrmann said in 1927 in his prose poem, The Desiderata, "Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, for even the dull and ignorant, they too, they have their story. Avoid loud and vexatious people." I'll leave it here. I didn't come to do prose poem here. But take me back to... No, let's begin from here. The NPA boss, Godwin Eduji Tamaklo, is telling us that we have 2 months of sufficient fuel. So whether Iran and Israel fights, and I'm sure most of you are scared about it, and I am equally scared about it, because it has the potential of affecting your fuel prices in the final analysis, your inflation, and your economy. So it will affect your exchange rate. It has ripple effects and repercussions. So we are all worried and we are all watching. Thankfully, in Ghana, we are told that we are non-aligned. So we are not either with Iran or we are not with Israel. We are non-aligned. We are right in the middle, which is good for us. But the government is assuring you that they have 2 months of fuel supply. Hopefully, within that time, something may happen. So that's the information from the government for you. Strait of Hormuz, all those conversations. Government says we have 2 months of, not so long ago, this was not our story. About 200 million liters of petrol, 150 liters of, diesel. But you see, the CEO of TOR, he said something. Combat. He said that TOR will be reopening in October. Yesterday, I had a conversation with Mr. Dankanamo of COPEC. And we had a good laugh over how many times we had been told that TOR will be coming back up. I'm not being, a pessimist. I'm only speaking to the facts that we have seen over time. In the last administration, we changed about 4 CEOs of TOR. Everybody came promising that TOR will reopen. I'm not talking about the Commander Sugar Factory, which we were promised over and over again. Even the chiefs came. They told the chiefs in their faces that I gave you deputy minister, you didn't vote for me, so me too, I didn't mind you. I left the sugar factory for you. That was the kind of leader that we had. Very vindictive, wore his emotions on his sleeves, was walking around with a chair. But I digress. But this gentleman is telling us that, TOR will come back again in October 2025. We owe 517 million. And these are monies that we've been paying since 2003. This legacy debt we've been paying since 2003. So somebody asked yesterday that, why would we finish paying? What kind of debt cry is this? Every year we are paying some debt. Dankarama says, Combat looks like somebody who has, an idea, has a fair idea of what he wants to do and what he wants to achieve. We can only wish him well. But we hope this doesn't become part of the compendium of promises to us that TOR will come back up. Because, the last time we were promised that TOR was going to come up, a few months later, the President of the Republic at the time, together with the Speaker of Parliament, Speaker Bagbin, they both went to Cento to go and cut the ribbon to activate the Tema Oil Refinery. I'm not against foreign direct investment. But I'm saying that, and if you remember on that day, I used an analogy of a man whose wife has a chop bar. Remember this analogy? I used it. Of a man whose wife has a chop bar. And then somebody who comes to eat at the chop bar sees that, there's potential. There's business potential. So he says that, your wife has 3 shops where she runs the chop bar. Give me 2 of the shops. And then said, what are you going to do? So you just give me 2 of the shops. Then 2 shops are given to this gentleman. And then before soon, he also starts a chop bar business. And then the man whose wife runs a chop bar leaves his wife's chop bar to go and cut the ribbon to open the competition that is coming up for his wife's chop bar. That was the story of TOR and Cento. A few meters away. So I hope this does not become part of the TOR list of, it will be operational. I wish Mr. Combat well. Young, dynamic, I wish him well. Dankanama yesterday spoke, for example, about Bust. How much reserves do we have? The sector itself, the sector itself it has its own challenges. And it looks like everybody wants to dance around the challenges. If people are not profiteering from the challenges, I'm sure that we would have fixed the challenges by now. Because the people of Ghana still may not understand why we say that we are a net exporter of crude, raw crude. It goes out there, it is processed, and it is brought to us. Why can't we get it done here? So at least, even if we are not exporting, we can at least take care of 40 to 60% of our local consumption. It's a simple question. The people are asking. Since President J. Kufuor came to open this up, discovered oil, commercial quantities, President Mills came to do some work, President Akufo-Addo has come to do some work, President Mahama has done some work. They have all done their part within that space. But we still carry the crude and we take it out there. Why? It's a question that must be asked, though. Why? It's a very simple question that must be asked. Why? Why can't we get it done? We have all the experts in this country. We have all the big people in this country. We have everybody, all the knowledgeable people. They go out there, they are hailed. People applaud them for their fine brains and everything else. When they come back here, do we allow them to work or do we frustrate them? Do we give them what they need to work or do we just frustrate and humiliate them so they check out of the system? Because it doesn't add up to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Is this salt that we are looking for to refine our oil? We have salt here at Adan Songo. Plenty salt. Electrochem. Plenty salt. So what is our problem really? And I'm just echoing the sentiments on the streets. So what is, so that when somebody coughs or somebody sneezes, somebody, Russia, Ukraine, hey, Iran, Israel, oh. Must we be over-dependent? This is the star of Africa. This is Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. And if you roll back the years, many years ago, there were things that were happening here that other countries were not even doing. So how did we come back this far? How? How did we come back this far to the point where now we have become professional international beggars? How did we come this far? How did we slip down? How did we stoop so low? You know, just think about it. How did we stoop so low? And you see, the painful part is where you have a lot of young people not interested in what is happening. I said, I was talking to some young people, we were talking about the geopolitical happenings. Iran, they say, oh, Jale, you know, they matter to you. They go find some kinky chop. I say, wow. Just wow. They are not interested. Let me celebrate a young man from Kaneshi. And speaking of young people and asking for people not to despise your youth, I knew this young man in Kaneshi, a young man like myself, but for some pretty much older than he is. I knew him when he was born in Kaneshi. He's the winner of our 3FM Tour du Ghana. And thank you to Malta Guinness, to Fruteli, to Winters Natural, Gary Mix, also to Koa Naturals, and to DHL and all of that. I knew him, Mr. Solomon Niamakwe Tego. I knew him at Kaneshi. And maybe I have to add that my mom is of Tego, the Tego tribe, so the Asane tribe, so she's a Tego as well. But I knew him. Leading the charge, he won hands down, 3FM Tour du Ghana. We've been organizing this for about 5 years, and there's always been one foreigner after the other, you know, coming up. Last year was a Nigerian, but this year he proved the mettle and showed us that a Ghanaian can also do it. Kudos to him. Now, he comes from Kaneshi, went to a Saito school like myself. I'm going back to the conversation we had earlier. He comes from Kaneshi, right? Attended the Saito school like myself. He's defied all the odds. There are private school people in there. There are dadabis in there. But he showed them something small and he raised the flag because he kept his focus. When I knew him, he was bigger than this. He trimmed down to win 3FM Tour du Ghana. Now they are even asking us to do 3 days and 4 days of Tour du Ghana. We'll start thinking about it. But you see the roads. They raise a very critical point. This is a road from Accra to Aflao. You can call it an international road because it's connecting one country to the other. They talk about the potholes, and then they talk about the speed ramps that are erected by communities along the stretch. Unauthorized speed ramps. Abraham Amalebai, good morning to you. Roads Minister Kwame Agboja, good morning to you. Alasan Suini, Deputy Roads Minister, good morning to you. They speak about the roads and the potholes, and then they talk about the speed ramps. The speed ramps. Unauthorized speed ramps. They say sometimes their bicycles break into two. Sometimes they get tire punctured. Sometimes they get hurt in the process. I'm putting the visuals on your screen so you get to see it. For those of you who are listening, forgive us, but you can see the potholes, it's visible. You can see the speed ramps, they're there. And they made a passionate appeal. Kofi Adams, good morning to you. You were here on Saturday. We thank you very much, Sports Minister. Thank you so much. But this is their strategy. Look at an international road. Look at what this has become. Look at it. We travel. Our big men and women, they travel on this road. They know what I'm talking about. They very much know what I'm talking about. They are very much aware of what I'm talking about. What have we done about it? Because these are young people who are determined to make a mark for us as a country. I'm told that they are part of the national team. They want to make a mark for us as a country, and they want to bring home honors. But if these impediments are on their way, how do you expect them to rise? They're talking about the roads. They're talking about the potholes. They're talking about the speed ramps. And speaking of which, look, while the road is also bad, you have the Trotsky. I showed you the Trotsky. Yesterday, I showed you a trotro. I'll show that to you again. Some of the trotros, you sit in the trotro. I don't know what standards we want to maintain as a country, but some of the trotros, you sit in them, and you can actually see the floor. You sit in some of the trotros, and it starts raining. It's like a kolanga. Sonhi. The rain is coming directly into the trotro. And I'm saying that our big people, they travel out of this country. When you sit in the public buses out there, in Obi Manso, Mokomami, Blofumami, do you have a trotro, for example, hurting you? Somebody said that a family of hairs sat in one of these trotros, a metal that had protruded, stung the person, and then the next point, tetanus sets in. The next point, the person has now become an amputee because they had to chop off that leg. And that is the story of many, not the chopping off of the leg, but tetanus and people getting, scratched by the metals in there and all of that. Look at this trotro. How did this trotro get roadworthy? And yesterday, an eye-opener I got that people say, they sit at the lorry parks and the lorry stations and get people to go and do the roadworthy and bring to them. So the officers who are supposed to see the vehicles actually do not get to see the vehicles. They themselves, the drivers called into this show and they were telling me that the system is broken. Logas, good morning. So if the system is broken, the system has to be fixed. Because in any sane country, this vehicle will not be on the road. And then now, look, they bring these cargo vehicles here, and then they come and put some makeshift chairs in there, and then they cram people in there, and then Charlie, it's all hot in there. It's as if the people who use trotros have committed a certain crime. It is as if people who use trotro have committed a certain crime against the state, that the state cannot find space at Insawam or Ankafo or wherever it is, so they have to punish them using the trotro every morning, afternoon, and evening. Every morning, afternoon, and evening. Look at the vehicle there. Show me the blue one. The bonnet is opened. The driver's mate is sitting on the engine, and he is holding two wires together to keep the car moving. And human beings are sitting in the car, and everybody is quiet. And I'm told that if you decide that you want to talk about it, somebody will say, and you see from na private car, to be top private car, such hogwash. It is the same attitude we have when people steal money, or we say, go and do lifestyle audit or what. You have people who come and defend it. Just say, we are just following. We are just following. This is not good. We know it. This is even on a highway. This is not good. What happened to parking the vehicle and getting the people off the vehicle or offloading them and putting them into another vehicle? Which civilized country would you enter and see such things happening in broad daylight? And as if that is not enough, the trotro drivers, and they are my friends too, but I have to tell them this. Most of the trotros that you have here, the public transport, do not have traffic indicators. So they don't want to park well to pick a passenger. They park and block the lane, so you are behind them, you can't move. Or if you are lucky and they park well on the side of the road and you're about to move, or they're about to move, they don't indicate anything. They just stretch out their hand, and before you know it, they are moving. Some don't even have the courtesy of stretching out their hand. As soon as they finish loading, they don't care who is behind them, they just start moving. And that's how a lot of people get crashed, because you go to your driving school and they tell you that before a car moves or takes a turn, it has to show you indication. Before a car moves ahead of you, the driver has to show you that there's an indication. I'm turning left, I'm turning right. The hazard is on, I have a problem. They don't do any of those. Boom, they are going. Bang, they are moving. How did we become this lawless? Such basic things and we always, look, what hurts me is that we always have a certain statistics of how many people have died through road crashes and all of that. This is one of the reasons, one of the ways through which people can die. It's one of the ways through which people can die. I saw a video on Galamsey and I was so heartbroken. Construction site. Somebody is building his home or her home. Right behind the home, they are digging Galamsey. Right behind the person's home, Galamsey is being dug with careless abandon. The earth is being destroyed. Right behind somebody's home. Right behind it. Are you seeing the picture I'm talking about? Right behind the wall. The masons are still working. They have not finished. They are plastering the wall. Right behind the wall are Galamsey, Obu Tugala. And so I paused to ask myself, how did we become this? Okay, granted that the person is not building at the right place, but should you be digging to destroy the earth to this point? And when you talk, they say, oh, ye be. So before Galamsey, were you not eating? Almost all our farmlands. I mean, and last week I showed you a video of a pregnant woman who went to join the Galamseyers because she said her farmland had been taken away from her by these same Galamseyers. She had no option. She had to feed, so she had to join them. I don't find that excuse too good, but the reality is that somebody powerful, more powerful, much powerful than her, took her land away from her. When the trumpet sounded and they had to run and flee, she couldn't run because of a condition. We are talking about Galamsey on a daily basis. There's another video of some excavator that has been destroyed. Just listen to the narrative. Listen to the narration, the people.
Hey, operation power, don't mind machine. Hey, what's the machine now? What's the machine now? Hey, what's the bibia? Bibia, what the hell? Bibia, what papa drive? Hello, okay. Domo ya no. The machines ni na. Domo ya ne dia mi to ya me. Domo ya no. Hello, just ma se bibia, bibia wa se no. That's easy. Bibia ma se no bibia. Okay. Anya be to battery no ma to battery no eh. Okay. The operation see your man no. Battery no ma to battery no. Operation ni almost na wo. Pero man no. Ma papa grass now. Papa grass no. I be behind the operation. A packing machine says if you. And to papa grass now says Bibia. I you talk about machine, I say machine. I say machine Bibia, Maseno. Machine monopa, machine mono. Machine mono had operations or page. Don't do twano. Machine monopa, Romano.
The best in the morning.
Machine monopa, Romano machine. I must say machine now, the trouble boom. I say machine. I say Bibia, I say a better. I say a better. I say, my I didn't swim. I'm a black.
103 FM, the best in the morning.
Yeah, Samo. I had a problem of work as easy.
So you hear the question. You heard the question. Your birthday, Didi. There are women, there are children, there are men. All of them supporting. What is an excavator doing at that place? Their explanation is that, the excavator was not at the site. The excavator had been parked. But what was it doing there in the first place? Is there road construction going on? Somebody clearing some place to go and farm? It is not enough to destroy the excavator this way. It is enough to find the chassis number, and DVLA and all the security agencies find the chassis number, find the people behind it, jail them. I say when you start jailing the big fishes, the small fishes, they will stop talking such balderdash. They are not concerned about the children who are walking around the place, who will be drinking the same dirty water, mercury, cyanide, and whatever water. They are not concerned about it. Brighter has been spending resources to go and check the relationship between Galamsey and children who are out of school and how that affects education and all of that. They are asking a birthday Didi. So I asked the question, before Galamsey, what were they eating? To a very large extent, they may have probable cause to say, look, give us alternatives. But what alternatives have we provided as a country? What alternatives have we provided? Yesterday, I gave you figures on NAPCO. And I said, look, it's time for us to look into the figures of NAPCO, investigate, do an audit. They are asking for alternatives. We know that when people are sacked from the Galamsey site, they go into the bush, start cutting down our trees. We know. We said we were going to build factories that will engage these young people. Did we? So as a country, how are we taking care of our very own so that the problems that we intend to fix are fixed? Somebody was asking a question, but we can't repeal the law now because since the government came, we have not given any single license for people to go into forest reserves to go and mine. That was not the promise. Don't be like the former administration that told us, we will let you vote for MMDCs. When it gets to the time, we say we will vote on political lines. No, that was not your promise. Your promise was that when you come, you will repeal the law. The coalition is even asking for a state of emergency. You are doing kokwasa with it. But the promise that you made, go back and play the tapes. The promise that you made was that when you come, you will repeal the law. So let the people know. The teachers are gathered at the Ghana Education Service. They say for 10 months, they've been working. They say no salary, no ID card. 10 months. The government is 6 months old, 4 months in the earlier government. If I talk you find the unions. But when they have problems, they don't go to their union leaders. They'll come to me, not just the teachers, all of them. Meanwhile, I don't take union dues. The year doesn't end for me to give you key holder and umbrella or flask. Yes, your union leaders, when they're not just teachers, all the union leaders. And they know it. When I say it, then they'll come, they'll insult me. I say, if you insult me, if you tag me, I don't care. I will tell you the truth, and I will tell you in your face. Because I don't fear. When you pay your union dues at the end of the day, what do you get? And when you have issues, why don't you go to your union leaders? Why do you come to the press? Why do you come to John Hughes specifically? I thought that the volunteers for the elections 2024, they had a grouping and they had leadership. They were on WhatsApp platforms. But when their allowances delayed, they came to Johnny Hughes. I stood here, spoke about it. Yesterday, I got a call that some of the allowances have been paid. Some people say theirs have delayed. But I know that the allowances have been paid. Can I call it a scorecard? I don't know. But the allowances for the 2024 elections have been paid. Thank you, Madam Jean Mensah. Thank you, Dr. Bosman. Thank you, Mr. Tete. Thank you, Electoral Commission. It delayed for 6 months. It took 6 months for you to pay, but it's been paid. And thanks to the advocacy. So you cannot shut me down. As a young person, I say, don't be intimidated by any fake lifestyle. And if GRA is minded, they will do a lifestyle audit. And if you're a man, dare the FBI. Or if you're a woman, dare the FBI. Good morning. Call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Frank Naroni, Dominion Amayo.
Mitio, talk to me.
And a idea. But then Jacket Yamon. Namenchacha Maju, Ashama communication officer. Greater communication member. The China Papa Parliament Company for Papa 8 years in opposition. And Emma or Shreyano. One and Sabina, Unyana, the boy, one card of bread to do in few watches. Opening and it might be because of Ghana, maybe a woman here. Na sani mpanifuaso so nkra okumbu the market man almost one kra almost just here into be fra me fan to anim and say demonstration ana ye tia ana ye say and na mo no mo call and tia apam no enya ban we you opani apanda da no akohye no ba ese meye mo se me koye mo se mo amusu bu ni me se e bedu January na o de ma hye no na ban ono aban no ni ho na ban no kra na nye ono na so. That must you to say what behind dying, opening what behind dying 1 year. Now, if you run a catamazo by 2 years, I may. Why do you say would die no behind 1 year? The 2 years I'm no new. Moon in 7 blue on January year, determinant and none and Ekufado, then MVP Granny Winnie and any on that so. Then Muji to you, I'm of you, one more qua video, one needs to be my Bible Baba. They say Moody Bibi Shaban will come by force. The money are buying for front or buy that other coin. Chinchina, winning to no mum, opening, then some ye. Mummy, fair my home opening. Mamma, the other way in your den and find you be. So, Binoa Pam, no need to ask by force, winning to me. Me Frank now will be people who will be people. It is another for the pen and Mahama pay.
Medasi, thank you. Thank you. Good. Oh, sorry about that. Please call me to 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir. How are you, Chairman?
I'm good.
Great. Talk to me, sir.
My name is Desire. I'm calling you from the Upper East region, Navrongo specifically.
Yes, sir. Talk to me. We're listening.
I want you to put an eye on a community water and sanitation agency.
Okay.
I work with that agency.
Okay.
And I believe strongly, it is my belief that the money that was found in Cecilia Dapan's house, that money is part of the grant that was given to community water and sanitation agency for the reforms.
Ebe, are you sure?
Johnny Hughes, we all know this country. Those monies have been packed into her house, and now poor young workers like us who have been recruited into the agency will have to suffer for it. Upper East, for instance, salary arrears for as long as 2 years has been owed staff, water system staff.
I see.
And have not been paid till date. I just want you to put a little eye on community where there's a lot of road going on there.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Alaji Vitati.
Yes, sir, boss.
Talk to me.
Yeah, thank you very much. My regards to Alaji Okondo and then Alaji Raouf.
Yes.
Johnny Hughes,
yes,
about
boss.
these Messi strikes and other strikes that have been emerged just recently, especially those that the latest one that are coming up. I can see this as a major calculated attempt by people within those sectors who belong to, the previous government, representing the previous government in those sectors.
I see.
I think, yes, they are behind it. Because you see, this government has come and has allowed them to still continue their operation at that leadership role. And I'm not encouraging that the government should take them out. But if this thing will continue, I think that it is going to affect the credibility, especially the integrity of this government for the people of Ghana. Because, John Mahama government wants to encourage production, especially local productivity, and to increase employment and job opportunity for the youth. But you see, sometimes we must also look at the areas that are major concern to this government. We're talking about Kenoforiata, who we think that must come to answer the various corruption questions raised, by the OSP leveled against him. Because our monies are there. If these monies are returned, I think they will have to go a long way to solve some of these problems. $2 million today that was spent on SkyTrain. I know that it is in process.
So it's sub judice. So
yes.
let's not go there. Leave it there.
But I don't want to go there. But I want all this money. Government must do everything within its means to ensure that we retrieve this money.
I hear you.
To be able to if not to solve the problem at all, I think it could solve 60 to 50%.
I hear you.
Of this problem.
Thank you very much. Sorry, what's happening to line 2? 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Yeah, morning, Johnny. How is it?
Very well, Chairman. How are you doing?
Fine. There was this situation where affordable housing came to Pokwasi.
Yes.
And most of the CSIR government institution was rather badly dealt with.
Yes.
Yeah.
It came to cut sword for it, dig the ground.
Exactly, and the whole area now, the CSIR is almost out of the business. People are taking advantage. There is one guy called Odati from Afiama. His popular name is Ojo Chalo.
Hey.
Yes.
Ojo Chalo is not a good name.
That has been his crime field. This guy has been now taking advantage of those lands and taking his question. Now what he's even doing is that he has cleared the places. He's bringing people from moves, those who sell wood and that kind of thing. And when you talk, he will tell you that he's an NDC organizer.
I see.
And he gets supported. I don't see. The last time we tried to call already, I almost pulled it up. So you can come around Odati Ojo Chalo. He's a problem.
Odati Ojo Chalo. Odati the scammer.
Odati Tema House.
I see.
At Afiama.
Scammer. Ojo Chalo is scammer.
Yeah, that's okay. That's the name he's found all along. There's people knowing for that.
I see. Okay. I hear you. Thank you. We'll follow up on that.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Seshak.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Good morning once again, your team. Good work done.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, in fact, this morning, I listened to the audio you played with respect to Ellen and ADG, the interview. And you see, whatever he said has been disputed by Duncan Amwa. That it is not true. And this morning, I thought you would speak passionately about the fact that we are exploring oil in this country, yet we are not processing oil.
I spoke about it, then you were not listening to me.
I was listening, but you didn't speak about it extensively.
Oh, no, I cannot cry. I can only tell you what the facts are.
Because when you see, these politicians, they always shortchange the country. Once upon a time in Ghana, they told us that the crude oil that we are exploring, the quality is too high that the machines over here cannot explore. But in another vein, we have Central refinery that has been situated in the country at Tema, close to TOR, and they are refining. So how about that one, Johnny? Are you not supposed to make your governance a beneficiary to the people? But all the time, people want to shortchange the country. So we want all the time to give opportunity to external people to come in. And when you do that, you know that it cripples your economy. So some of us will not come here and come in what do you call it? Somebody say treat them with seed growth. Whatever FG said is wrong. It's true. It is wrong because why is Ghana an oil exploring country? Yes, all the time when there is a little shock somewhere, then we end up crying.
There is so much heat in the country already. We said that no, price the dollar is coming down, so price of goods and services must also come down.
That's right.
But I can tell you, food is still a very, very expensive. And all the time when we go, we have to be fighting with food vendors. So we are telling them that no, I buy that Nyama, so what is it to do? But some of the callers who have been calling your station, some of them have what they are doing. Ask them whether they have been able to reduce their services, the fee that they charge, whether they have been able to reduce the services. Ask them. So at times you have to also understand the disease, because when you allow price control to be in the hands of the sellers, this is what you are going to get. Government must take this. Government is a serious business. And sometimes when some of us we call radio, we feel it. You understand? Donnie, this country is not a palatable country to live in. You understand? You are working, yes, you don't even see what you are working for.
Okay. Thank you very much. So you say you are working hard in the wrong country. Anyway, good morning.
Bema want it to enter from Enfa or Katrama Enfa Memoachi.
Mejoso.
My memo abasu papa. Oma essential Jumano excellent.
Adumarakwa.
So in Sebiara, a woman Yankopon for Mao anywhere do my phone in a oya de old ball home what in papa, Yamisha papa. Commander. Program ya we a sunset company for be brain in Abu. Onya sana assembly mine o tie program ne papa amasa maya no
yo koso yentio
mi bisa se o to se excavator si baby na ututu tuobom na wo se no se ebi excavator na enya adwuma na se esi ho na o tutu tuobom na wo se na efie nyansan mu no eye se obeyesa
say tax force is a non person me mujuma.
No, you're wrong. So we yes if you nyansa mu no wagya nyansa wo fie se okokofa. Because se aban bia ye bia twam a aban we a waba no onso a se kose excavator. Obetimi achi na wo de aba na se de wo kan ye no mafa number na ma trace ni mahu de owner of excavator but oh yes would you go mining who na asami wie ma asam na me bisa say edwuma abana etwa buko ni begu no especially wo hwe Commander Sugar Factory any some of the abana edwuma no abia obegu no go obegu no pen kase edibibi boni bre o man simply because unemployment is also enti edi bed ya ba beto aba we so to be edwuma. So His Excellency John Dramani Mahama
thank you very much. Good morning.
The people's voice.
Eben in Kwabenya, how you doing, my brother?
Not bad at all. You
talk to me. All God is good.
We thank the Heavenly Father this morning.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, let me say good morning to my MP, Honorable Agbo of Ghana. Also, follow who know roads, Honorable Ashimo. Also, remind the President that Madam Ajia, our PRC, waiting for your appointment. You see, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
You see, you said something this morning, and I was so happy. It's really true. We shouldn't give ourselves pressure at all, especially with the young guy. Because when you give yourself a pressure, at the end of it, you go and what? Beg. And people will mock at you. At times, when I sit down and I ask myself, what kind of what a person was the late was of that morning? Because if you look at the then that we say the Genebre, as visionary as the man is, and now that we say we have all the people with the what? Eloquent, fluently voices and everything. But if you see that what? Their vision doesn't match what the late Osadipo are saying. Because the man's legacy lives on. Meanwhile, he's dead and gone long time ago. I say, it's time I will do for my mother Ghana and ask them myself, do this country call Ghana at all? What it takes to have a legacy? Because when I look up, they are destroying all the human legacy. And if you see, at times, if you enter some of the infrastructures of the staff, the late, may still rest in peace. The way currency, those that they say they have the capable men and women, since they have destroyed. One thing I will say and conclude my answer that it shall be well. When we compare things now a day to the previous one, we are all seeing the achievements of the government. And I believe, come what may, by the end of the 4 years of John Mahama, he will deliver in one thing the better legacy that Ghanaians will never mind whom the NDC is.
Okay.
So, sir,
thank you very much. I'm grateful. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Hughes. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, my friend from Ashaman Zenu. Talk to me.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
This Galamsey fight, I think the government is doing well. But as the water, the level, the deterioration of the water is still giving people worry. As my brother Kofi Poku said, burning or destroying excavators who park elsewhere. Though we don't know the directives or the command that was given to the task force. That is another angle we must know. What was their command before leaving the office to the grounds? I will take my point.
Yeah.
So, as much as we condemn the action, but we should be interested to know the command that was given to them. I will take my point.
Yes, sir.
For the MPP, I will encourage them to continue the confusion. Any face that it rot from the head. I don't see the point. Any face that rot from the head. That is why they have started top-down approach. And they will fail and will do them well. Have a good day.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Over me bodo
manye papa bravo to o bi e pokwasi segbe tinye o ten.
Yo adromo. Engbe ji dan ya shitemi twa kenja momole.
Amomole ha, o wie o mi buboto.
Johnny.
Yes, sir.
I just don't understand. Anytime NDC comes to power, you see all sorts of things going on. It's like Ghanaians favors or take whenever MPP is in power, you don't see these demonstrations and all that stuff going on. But it's only when the NDC come to power, you see all these things. I don't know. Is it because we are soft, we are diplomatic to the people? Is it because we don't harass them with the security? I just don't understand. The party NDC is just 6 months in power. And we can all witness the good things John Dramani Mahama and the NDC is putting in place. Jobs all over. Entrepreneurship, skill training. Dollar is down. Fuel price is down. Other foodstuffs have been reduced. But yet, we said we still don't appreciate all this effort by the government. What else do we want the government to do? If all what the government is doing today, we don't appreciate, what else do we want John Mahama to do? John Mahama is the best ever president we've had. We can see from other countries why diplomatic people every day talking about John Mahama, that is a blessing to Ghana and Africa. I will urge all our people, or every Ghanaian, that let's hold on to John Mahama. Let's support him.
I hear
because Ghana here in
Thank you very much. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, my only honorable.
Right, Abosokai, talk to me.
Honorable Alaji Okondo, baby Ovia, Yamin Shrapa no Papa, Peter Chizmi Chava.
Right.
All say about Galamsey fight, yeah, fighting. The Galamsey fighting. They are youth, young boys are almost baby baby. But I mean, who say, before almost Kitesika, almost try excavate away. Edema boys now, medical forest. No, me who say, I see, the Nibia say, and I'm say, anyway, and excavate away. Media. Because you now almost to Galamsey boys now almost to Galamsey no. Indeed, this Ombenyata Kakesewe Akoto excavate Adia Koyata forest and Muse omu say asasi and asa omu say yesu mpenifo omu di saa de na echi no ese national security for echi omu so e ka ho because omu ka ho e na say yesu ye be say ye teachers no say pa omu acho bebre aban we e ba ye enche ye Excellency John Dramani Mahama any vice president Mamina na Opoko Adjuma omu tutu nyama ye ye finance minister ono bo 240 e bo omu mode eti ye say omu so omu problem a omu ni mpenifo etinase na omu ni omu nka because arrest here ye kan wa asemi enye ne 2022 and start here enti ye den na mudi pressure ebe to Excellency John Dramani Mahama so enti ye say omu ni mpenifo etinase na omu solve problem bia
thank you. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, boss.
I just in the Casafidon.
Yes, sir.
Yo, that's in Ejuma.
Yeah, that's
Zuma. Lawyer Zuma, I was telling you, Kupon Shano. And Jumana Ubo Magana, Ubia Bane Bo Abaso. It's a say a dentia.
Minimo.
Because of where Juma Pantia.
Adumaraco.
Ukano create a Ghana for your mention of Adumaraka. Whether me pacho,
yes, sir.
It's Rebisao. Galamsey, na Yakan Watemna. Me pacho say nya ne start you ana me boa
da bi nya ne
nti we da me pacho impine phone kasa no omo nnim hu bia na ti eti me start impine phone mu eye Galamsey no omo so nkola ne ko no a wallahi Galamsey we no eye simple kura beti me aso ano what I say nti me da me bisa o say every aba ponti abe kase ye Excellency John Dramani Mahama o tu Galamsey ni bia na because me kai se tam na MPP for ewa omu aban no so no for 8 years na atwem koye no minim say yabo Excellency John Dramani former president Akufo-Addo yabo ne din say ne fie nachi even po ne crofo ne mpenefo nyina no a omu tu Galamsey ne bi mipacho obi atinya be yi ya no but omu nim say de omu ye no a omu ye boni e de abehye ye and obi aso timi sofu san crofo we what I say on na problem because omo ma ye bredodo ye kwa down na ye constitution na say na tia na ye be kan na mpenefo no so mutimi nka bi na ya ka gumu so sa because of Excellency John Dramani Mahama on na ye omo mpenini ntia tam na Akufo-Addo ye president na obi timi ka say e kire no mo ma yanka no kra kire Ghana for because the MPP for ni ye no too much oh yeah Galamsey na ya chiwa na who see o chidodo na o got you one
Medasi thank you. Good morning.
Johnny.
Calling Samomole.
My boss.
How are you?
By the grace of God Almighty, I'm doing good.
Great.
What about you?
God has kept us alive.
Fantastic journalist. What I have been saying, and I will keep on saying that, look, media general, you are best of the best among the rest across Ghana and inside Ghana.
We thank God.
Fantastic journalist you are.
We thank God.
Yes. At times, you let me pause here because when person bring yourself. Anyway, today let me do brief to MPP. Look, it's too early. It's too early. MPP, just 6 months in opposition. Why are you in hurry to elect presidential aspirants? Why? Why are you in hurry? Look, go back to the drawing board. And your mistakes is almost getting to 100. You know, I know, everybody know. It's too early. The noise is too much. Look, President Mahama and NDC, we are not angels, we are human beings. President Mahama can never, look, we will get a mistake. So go down there and watch. If there is potholes, you draw the president's attention. That, look, you say you do ABC, and you are now doing A, so what about the B and C? That's how we govern. And you are in a hurry to go and you start from top. We don't care. Either the former vice president, whatever will come. The good people of Ghana are descending. They know what is right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Odewale.
Here we are. Thank you for the Trotsky expose.
Yeah, the Trotsky.
But this is what we call Pragia, Mahama can do or try second.
Yeah.
They are also equally on our highways, even within our inter-city roads. For instance, when you come to Kasua, most of the inner roads, they plow it more. Even Nyanyanu Highway, they have been plowing it. And most of them too don't have state lights. And some of them are also not in quite good condition. So, as we check the trustees, let's also check the other one. My brother, quick one. You see, this teachers' union issue, and people are not getting it right. They are not entirely on demonstration or sit-down strike. And my brother, the two of us completed teacher training college. We were posted. I have gotten my ID number, meaning what? I'm a recognized staff.
Right.
You don't have. Anytime I'm paid, you are not paid. But we have all been given us appointment letter. In fact, the discrimination is too much.
My brother, I've been seeking to understand the appointment letters, financial clearance conversations. I've heard people make, I've not gone into the issues, but I just had to mention it because they've been there since yesterday. But, the conversations about financial clearance, for example, what's happening at the Bank of Ghana and all of that. You can hold an appointment letter, but if you don't have financial clearance, it doesn't mean anything, really.
So the question now is that's why they're asking GS or the appointed authority, the appointor, besides the state or the government, that how come this discrimination or incorrect are occurring? And besides that, my brother, do you know the painful aspect? From that year, 2022 downwards, there have not been any postings. They will tell you financial clearance. Half for nursing from 2021. So how come that every year we are enrolling them? They are, in fact, they are passing out. And those days we are not having these issues. When you complete, it's a professional body. You are posted. You go through your probation from there. Straight, you are in the system. How come that even when we say we're giving them allowance, you should not go for national service, which was not part of it? So in fact, NAT, 3 years, Minister of Education with NACRA, in fact, they should speak to these young ones because people are frustrated. Have a blessed morning.
Thank you. Oh, sorry about that. Maybe two more and then we'll wrap up for Mutela to take us on sports right. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir. Oh, Charlie, fetch me. Because I hate you.
Johnny, tomorrow you take out for that home, mommy.
Oh, say, no, say.
2 CDs and are coming from an power in the generally. He can't any power to make sure home in age, man. If you want to make the Mexican, since I'm 55 years. Hey, what's that? Anyway, don't remember I'm not Ibrahim Bahama. Why? I don't know. Right.
But this time, Bodina Bo area, be a Becca.
Your friend, Ben Mensa. So I'm a man. Right.
Yo, Yati. Ben, that's it. Thank you. Good morning.
Johnny.
Papa.
You are my brother.
What's it then?
I've been out of Johnny.
The
way I'm out for two and a pabia. Then you give chance for the callers to call. It shows the importance of the callers.
Yeah.
Me, I featured on panel on radio, TV for NBC. I still make sure I call because it's so important for Ghanaians to hear the negatives and the positives.
That's right.
Government or what is going on. You understand me? And I'm saluting you for that. What I just want to put across is this. It seems as if I'm speaking it again. Callers like Alima, Bright, and all those things, they've said a lot concerning neglect. You understand me?
Right.
And then you made the point, even Kevin Taylor made it a point that, look, those that traveled with you from the beginning and you got what you have, there's no need for you to put them aside. You don't push them aside. To cut a long story short, I just want to end here. Keep up your good work.
Thank you.
And we salute you for having trust in us.
Thank you, Papa. I salute you too. And to all the listeners and callers, we're grateful. I'm sure we can pack it here. And go for some sports and activities. Yes, you know, Mutala, when we're in primary school and they say it's time for PE, it's time for PE. You go and change.
Of course.
Charlie P.
Of course. Yeah, but I was coming with a question in my head that I wanted to ask you. Since you do a lot of political and social issues. I always want to. I'm someone who always.
BC has ended. Though. Take your time.
I'm always someone who wants to find answers, especially from people who are experts in certain areas and who are ahead of me.
I beg you.
Who are ahead of me. You
got
GIJ before I
beg you.
Is it wrong for the son or the daughter of a president to be involved in something private when their father assumes the throne as the overlord of the land? Is it wrong, or should we get to a point where the son or the daughter of a president shouldn't work, because once they start working or they do something would attach some political connotations to it, that they are being favored, or like how should the son of a president live?
So you see, point number one is the presidency is not a monarchy.
Okay.
So even in a monarchy, you have roles and duties that are assigned to the people of royal ancestry.
Okay.
So if you go to England, for example, Prince Charles has, what he was doing until he became King Charles. Yes. Everybody's assigned, you're Duke of this or Duchess of this or that. You know, so you're assigned something to do. It comes down to what we also do here. If you go to Galamsey Palace, there's people who go to Asante in this palace, you go to Ochen in this palace, go to Togiap at this palace. You know, it's working there. But the presidency is not a monarchy.
Okay.
I brought in the monarchy for you to even know that even in the monarchy, they have roles that are assigned to them, to play. That's one. Number two, the president's offsprings are supposed to also live their life. They are not an extension of the presidency. It is their father who was voted for, not even their mother, not the children. It is their father who was voted for.
Okay.
Even though the state at some point or to some extent might take care of the children in one way or the other, you cannot hamper and hold on to them to say, don't do any work. Because every individual has work. What happens to the children 4 years after their father has come and gone? Or 8 years, in our case, 2 terms. Your father becomes president for 8 years, and then after that, what? You had no work to do, and then suddenly after 8 years, you have work to do. What would you be doing within the 8 years? And it is not the first. You have had presidents all across the country. Doesn't Trump's children work?
Yeah.
They work. Everybody's child works. More especially, and I know this is about Sharaf and John Mahama. The young man has been in boxing promotion long before his father became.
The last 2 years, he's been very active.
He's been very active
in promotion.
Even with his father being in opposition.
Yeah.
The argument I've heard people make is that, well, he knew that his father was coming in there, then he was going to have some influence and all of that. If you can prove that there's a conflict of interest, that's a different kettle of fish. That his father used his influence to be able to get him, you know.
That is another conversation.
Yes, if you can prove that, then you may be driving towards a point.
Okay.
But until that point, you cannot say that the young man who has a passion for doing this and has shown that while his father was in opposition, he still was able to do it. You cannot then now come and say that he cannot do it. You get the point. So every individual has a right to work. He may decide that, look, my uncle is wealthy, my father is president, I don't want their money, I want to do my own thing. You can't stop him from doing it.
There is even that school of thought that he can even go through his uncle to seek sponsorship from these bodies that came to support.
I don't get the head and tail of all this conversation. When the president of the republic traveled in his brother's Jata plane, people complained.
Yeah.
Right? I saw His Royal Majesty Otumfuo to recently disembarking from the plane. Who is complaining?
That was last week.
We make noise about nothing.
Is it that we try to rub politics in every little thing that happens? Once you are closer to a political family, you don't have a private life anymore to work and all that.
Unfortunately, that's where we are as a people. and we need to move away from it. I mean, I have always said that, look, my father wielded some influence, but I didn't want to use my father's influence. I've gone through, right from the beginning to the top. My father is dead. He died 10 years ago. Imagine that I had been stuck to my father's influence and stuck by him. And then he died 10 years ago. How was I going to? And that's how come you find that a lot of rich people and influential people, they die and their families are left in disarray. The children can't even know where to turn and all of that. Charles, we went to school of hard knocks. So if the boy wants to go to the school of hard knocks, leave him to go to the school of hard knocks. And you see how his father relates with him in public. He sees him say, hey, Sheriff, how are you doing? Then he walks off. Because the boy has shown him that I want to be independent. I want to be able to do my stuff. He is not the only one who is the president's son. He has brothers. They are footballers and all of that. Why is anybody not talking about them? If tomorrow we wake up and we see that, President Mohammed's son is not skilled on the field, but then because his father is president, he's being called into the Black Stars, then we'll have cause to complain.
That is where we have a cause to complain.
But now he has not come to take your football. He's playing his football elsewhere. Because it's a president's son, he cannot play football. So that if he brings something home, he says, I want to organize a gala at Accra Sports Stadium. He gets sponsors, they organize it, they put it together. Because it's the president's and he cannot do that.
Well,
it doesn't add up.
Someone says he's even lucky that he started this way before his father became president. If he had started this year, it would have been chaotic.
Exactly
all
the
hell
point.
would break loose.
And it goes to show you that, look, he has always had the passion for it. He's been doing his thing.
He was playing football back then, some 3 years ago, decided to write the FIFA licensing exam when his father was even in opposition. He passed and all that. So it's something that he's been doing. I think we need to detach politics from
Motalapa, if your father is the chef, will you be hungry?
Not at all.